Hey guys, I got a bunch of stuff going on here. I got chargers and batteries everywhere, but here's the h501ss controller. I still haven't done the antenna mods. I'm going to try to do them quick while these batteries are still charging up. Two h501s batteries, some controller batteries, and I'm going to take the h109s too. But they did put some hot glue over this frickin' 2.4 over the IPEX connection. So I have some Q-tips, I got rubbing alcohol, Goof Off, Pro Strength, Oops, and I got to try to get that off without breaking the UFL connector. So I'm going to open this up and hopefully do these mods real quick before I go out and fly. Okay, so I took the back off the H501ss controller, and look what they did. The 5.8 side is a regular IPEX UFL connector. Look at the 2.4. They globbed hot glue and it attaches to not only the IPEX but the actual power control board, so I have to very carefully get that off. So I'm going to be trying some different things here. I mean, I could heat it up, you know, but then you run the risk of wrecking the solder points for the UFL connector. At least it ain't soldered, but I already had to solder one of my 5.8s. Anyways, for the original H501S controller, I'm going to try to get this glue off and then do the mods real quick, and let's see if we can get it off. Okay, so what I did was I just kind of soaked this where the hot glue is in 91% rubbing alcohol, and it is starting to come off. You want to do this very, very, very slow, because if you pull up on it too much, it's going to break on you. Okay, so what I did was used a Q-tip and soaked it in 91% rubbing alcohol. And you gotta you gotta do this slowly. Just kind of rub it where the glue is touching, and then slowly start to peel up on this glue. Slowly peel up on the glue, and it is starting to come off. So I slowly worked at it with rubbing alcohol, and that did the trick. There's the hot glue that was holding the IPEX on the 2.4. It did not damage that tiny little UFL connector. That's the round thing. So I'm gonna continue with the rest of the modifications. Alright, so if yours was hot glued, if it wasn't, be very careful popping these IPEX off of the UFL connectors. You do not want to bend or break them. So once that's off, you can actually leave this in here if you want to, the stock 2.4. Then you got the 5.8. You have to be very careful taking these IPEX off. Use a tiny screwdriver maybe and your finger and pop them straight off. So I'm going to get that one off, and I'm going to remove the stock antennas, drill the holes, and we're going to be rocking and rolling. Okay, so I removed the stock 2.4 antenna. You can leave them in there if you don't want to mess around. And there's the stock 5.8. They both have nice UFL connectors, so now I just got to drill the holes and connect the wires and attach the antennas. Remember, never do this with any kind of power source, because this 2.4 can burn up if you don't have any kind of antenna attached to it. Okay, so once you have those removed, start out with a small drill bit and a drill, and make yourself a pilot hole directly in the center of that, the front of the controller. So a pilot hole then work your way up a little bit bigger, and then I ended up with a 15/64 drill bit. So then once you have your holes, you just take the SMA, the sub miniature A connectors, and just make sure they fit through the holes that you drilled. I mean, I'm not going to put it in that way, I'm just making sure that they fit in the hole. I mean, there you go. Okay, so now whether you got RG178 or you're going to use these kind of cables, whatever, you stick them up through that way. Okay, so I slipped them up through there. The next thing you're going to want to do is grab these little nuts that came with the kit, put them on there, and just get these snug and tight. Both sides, 2.4 and the 5.8. Remember, when you flip this around, the one on the right, this is now the 5.8, that is the 2.4. Don't get them mixed up, because when you flip the controller around, it's backwards. You understand? I'm sure you do. But anyway, I'm going to tighten these down and then connect the apex ends. These just snap down onto the UFL connector. Okay? I already did a continuity test, and I know these are good wires, so I'm just going to do that. Okay, so once you remove your stock antennas, drill your holes, tighten down the screws, route your wires so they don't get pinched in between where the back of the controller screws on, right here and on the sides. You are good to go. Route your wires whichever way. There's the apex connector popped onto the UFL. This is the 2.4 and that's the 5.8. So then you can also do this with the RG178 wires. These are just thicker wires. I'm not doing it right now because I did not get them in time, the 4-inch ones. So I just put these like this for now. And if you do this mod, just remember these UFL connectors that are soldered to the board, they're not made to be popped off and keep on removing and popping and trying different antenna wires and SMA connectors. They will eventually break off the board. So maybe max 1 or 2 times you can disconnect this, and then make sure you route your wires right. Don't get the 2.4 too close to the 5.8, and you will be good to go. So when you're finished, route your wires, something like that. And there's the external antenna mods for the h501ss controller. I am going to be doing that with the RG178 wires, but I did not get the 4-inch ones in time. When I do, I will do it. So that does it. I did this real quick. I'm sorry about that. I did need to I got all my stuff charged, and I'm gonna go out and fly while the weather's nice, 1 day out of last 6 months. So that's how you do the mods. You drill the 2 holes in the top and carefully, remove the stock apex connectors and put yours on, just like that. It's that simple. Just be careful when you're drilling. You don't smash down with the drill when it goes through the plastic. You don't want to blast into any of the electronics. Okay. Alright, thank you for watching, and I'm going out to fly. See you later.